President Trump insists U.S. manufacturers will be protected because tariffs will be paid by these countries. But it's not quite that simple. The so-called importer of record, the companies responsible for importing a product, are the ones that physically pay tariffs to the federal government. They are usually U.S. companies. Here, the tariffs are collected by Customs and Border Protection at 328 ports of entry across the country. That money goes to the general fund of the U.S. government, managed by the Treasury Department. Now, what happens is when someone ships something into the U.S., say they use FedEx, for example, the shipper fills out a declaration of what it is, how much it costs, and if that product is on the list for a tariff, FedEx would collect the fee where it came in and then transfer that to the U.S. Customs on site. The whole process, much more complex and complicated than the pro-tariff crowd usually describes. Now, many companies are enrolled in an electronic payment program. They have tariff fees automatically deducted from their bank accounts, and they bring products through ports of entry. The port of Laredo, for example, in Texas, is the #1 port in the nation, with $339 billion in total trade passing through just last year. Now, much of that is with Mexico, because cars and trucks are the top U.S. import from Mexico. Now, 62% of Chevrolet's Silverado parts, the parts, are made in the U.S. and Canada. General Motors, for example, has assembly plants for the Silverado in Oshawa, Canada, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Flint, Michigan, Springfield, Ohio, and in Mexico. Each time something crosses the border, including thousands of individual parts and the final vehicle, a tariff is assessed and paid by the company. Now, companies obviously can choose to absorb these tariff costs. That would lead to eating into their profits, obviously. Bigger companies can try to force suppliers to lower their prices, something smaller companies really probably can't do, or they all pass the cost on to consumers in the form of higher prices.